Awesome. We are live on YouTube. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the website redesign meeting. Cool. So agendas over in issue 97 in website redesign. I'll ping it in the chat here. There we go. Awesome. So let's start off by reviewing action items from last time. It's issue number 90. Kind of like having that consolidated list of stuff that's not meaty enough to be a ticket. I'm gonna keep doing that. Sweet. So going through top to bottom, Francisco, were you able to get screenshots over on PR 22831?
Hello? Sorry, can everyone hear you?
Yes, can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. No, I haven't put that in there yet. I've just been blocked on this ESLint thing, but
okay.
And that's the real thing that's blocking that bug right now. But
is there anything we can do to help him block you there?
Find out if that guy's just on vacation. He just hasn't answered.
Okay.
Right now, like I think what I'm gonna do today is just fork it. Like it's like it's a 2-character change. I'm sure he'll take it in whenever he sees it. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna fork it. Let's just have the repo use that, throw in the screenshots, and then at least even if like the consensus is like, oh, we still want it to go into the main repo before like we take it, at least like it'll just be at a state where like, okay, once this does get accepted, then we can accept this, right? So yeah, that's my update.
Yeah, man, just go for it. Feel free to fork it and just make that change so we can see it work. Sweet. Manil, you want to talk a little bit about the feedback system you set up over in issue 6?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So the action item was for setting up a demo of a feedback system that lets us prioritize which getting started content we want to start working on or we want to find people for, because part of our strategy for getting started is that if there is a topic or a title in issue 60 for reference, issue 60 in the website redesign repo, if there's a topic that is more useful to people and we can capture that sentiment, we will seek out a person who knows enough about it or who is a subject matter expert to write a getting started guide for it. To that end, at the bottom of issue 60, there's a comment that demoing a solution using user report. There were other options called Canny or Upvote. I haven't used Upvote. That's a do-it-yourself system that needs, you need to host it and you need to set it up from scratch. Seems useful, but also a little overkill for what we need right now. Canny is cool. It's very well designed. It has what we need. But beyond the 14-day trial, it switches to you need to pay. I've used it for work, but it doesn't seem like we necessarily need it. When user report, we can get it for free right now. The only difference is user report is it looks a little less polished, but it's irrelevant for this purpose. So if you click into the link, which says in the comment, it says there's a link. It says this is a link to the page. It takes you to a feedback forum. And in that forum, you can individually comment on topics and you can individually upvote topics. You don't need to log in, I think. Is this working for everybody? I'm not able to.
Yeah, I'm able to see it. It looks good.
It does not load on my page. For whatever reason, maybe I'm blocking a bunch of things. But yeah, so that was a demo. There aren't all the topics there, but if we want to start putting topics on there and then make this link available to people, we can start seeing if there's any interest. I haven't thought about what would be a good way to share it, maybe through the issues or
Yeah, I mean, we should add it to the main README if we end up going with this solution. Point people like both in this issue and probably just call it on the main README, like documentation topics to jump in on. You can find them here.
right on.
It would be nice. These images. Yeah. So if we start drafting one of these, and if there's an open PR for this, we probably just want to make note of it in the description here. Can we edit these once they're created?
Yeah, we are able to do things with the topic. I think I'm not sure if you can merge them in this one. Candy lets you merge topics, but yeah, you can change the title and the content.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll probably want to make sure that they're all cross-referenced with PRs once you get them started.
I do wonder. Sorry, you were saying?
No, that's all I got.
I wonder whether putting it in the README of this PR is actually the place where people who want getting started guides will see it the most. I mean, we'll definitely put it. This is where we've kind of like we started collecting everything, but I wonder if to get actual information, we need to like share it farther to places where people who aren't seeking out getting started, like who aren't seeking out to contribute to Node would go find it.
Yeah, totally. We can talk about getting it tweeted out or something. See if the foundation can help us with some PR push for redesign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's all from this one then that I would share. If that's going to be a next action item to figure out how to share it or how we.
Yeah, I will make a note of that for myself. New action item. Action item. Figure out social blast or docs call CTA. Sure. Cool.
I suppose I need an action item also to fill the feedback form with all the titles. There are a lot of titles.
Seed feedback form with data. Awesome. Yeah, I'd be happy to move forward with that versus editing that one issue. The one other thing we might have some trouble with is just how to group these. Like especially early on, we don't necessarily have the full IA figured out for docs pages. You know what content gets stuck in what sections or so it looks like there's no way to nest stuff in here. So if we want to like experiment with different hierarchies of documentation, it'd be a little hard. Yeah. But
there are
just as a raw listing function here, I think it's good. And we can probably figure out IA doc structure separate from actual usable content. We can figure out where it gets slotted in after the fact.
Yeah.
Although I want to loop back over to issue 60 later and talk about IA in a little more detail. Sorry, acronyms, information architecture in a little more detail. Yeah, cool. Just keep it on down the list of action items. Tierney's not on right now. Let me triple check. Did I forget to? Oh, we have Eric Hodges in here. Hello, Eric. Sorry, I left you sitting there in the attendees list.
Welcome.
I really wish Zoom would like chime when somebody popped in.
It does though. Like it doesn't here. That's
not on mine. Yeah,
that's really odd. Like
really odd. Cool. Manil, any update on the issue number 83, the PR following up with this?
Oh yes. One moment. Let me just go into that. I need context. Using Node with framework. Yeah, so followed up with the person who opened the original PR. It seems that they are um, interested in making it. It's just for them a work in progress. They specified that they'd work. They'd focus this on a Node on a React tutorial, a Node plus React tutorial, even though the title says Node with framework. And I think there's some feedback from. No feedback. I'm thinking of a different. Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it. I made a ticket for discussing about docs meetups and hackathons. Feel free to chime in there. I know, Manil, you were. I linked to the wrong issue. It's there in the issues list. It's issue number 99. Literally just a placeholder issue. Manil, I know you've been hosting meetups where folks have been working on hacking away on documentation, and they've been going well. And we talked about institutionalizing that last time, so we can discuss there.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. Tierney's also not here to chime in on that. Issue number 13, driving engagement on that PR. I don't know if we need to review this. I think it's just them. They need to work more on voice and tone guidelines if they want to contribute back. Cool. That's all the action items from last time. On to other topics. Issue number 88 is still on the list here. We have a breakout section section. I'd love to keep this really like call to documentation focused is kind of my idea. Like it would be awesome to make this just kind of a high level presentation about the vision we're doing here, and hopefully get it just to drive engagement, because Manil, we have it's a 15-minute lightning talk, right?
Yeah, it's actually for some reason I thought it was half an hour. I really want to confirm. Are you sure?
Okay, let's confirm that. Action item, confirmed length of talk. And then we can start stubbing out ideas.
It's an option in the form of 5, 15, or 30 minutes talks or panels, or just open office hours / space and time for folks. So it's actually really, really flexible.
No, we can do literally whatever we want. We could post our own documentation writing hackathon there. Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah. I don't know if that's the best use of the time.
But yeah, as we didn't actually specify what we'd want to do, I think we're still open to.
Yeah, I think we left our time slot size. I think when I made the ticket on the foundation side, or submitted the form, I said, let us know how much room you want us to take up, whatever amount of time. So I might just, in that case, I might just start prepping like unless anybody has objections, prepping a history of website redesign type of presentation. As like here's how it started, here's what we've done, here's where we're going. And just start getting the structure for that worked out. I can share a Google slide deck where we can all collaborate on that. That sounds like a good path forward.
Looks good. It sounds good to me. We could actually even use it for issue 66.
Issue 66.
Right. The next one for a walkthrough and content.
Oh yeah, exactly. We can. That's perfect. We can start it there. That's a great idea. Make slide deck to collaborate on. Sorry, I'm just taking notes. Use for number 66. Awesome. Cool. I'll get started on that so we can have it for next time. Issue number 66, walkthrough and ComCom and TSC meeting. TSC, ComCom has decent context on where we've been here. But TSC knows stuff is happening, but doesn't quite have a lot of members don't have full context on website redesign work. So Dawson asked a while back if we could do a walkthrough in TSC. We didn't exactly have enough momentum at the time, or past work to really bring something substantial. I feel like we do now. And Manil, I really like that idea of using that slide deck as a test. So we'll see if we can't get on the TSC agenda for probably a week and a half from now with a draft of that slide deck that we're going to use at the conference.
That sounds good. I think that'll be the same week as NJSI. That's a week after next, right?
Is it? I thought that was still longer than that. That's terrifying. Starts on the 9th, yeah. So that is a week and a half away. Woo! Cool. We'll try and get it for next week when the TSC meeting. There's no TSC meeting that week.
For context, anyone who's on this call, I slipped into using an acronym. NJSI, that's the Node.js Interactive Conference that's happening in Vancouver in Canada in a week and a half, in the second week of October. And during that, there will be a summit, and summit lets people, the collaborators to Node and local people, come in and talk about everything that's happening in real life. So that issue was about giving a presentation there in something called the Community Corner. Feel free to jump in if you don't have context.
It looks like the next TSC meeting before the conference is on Wednesday the 3rd at 5 in.the morning, West Coast time in the US.
That's lovely.
Are
you already waking up at 5?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm sure we'll have full attendance.
Why am I alive right now?
Sorry, did you say something, Sigir?
Yeah, I said I'm sure we'll have full attendance.
Yeah, at 5 in.the morning. Well, TSC is spread out all over the world, so we'll get the folks in Europe and Asia for that.
I think they move their meeting times around.
They do. It's on rotation, all over the place. It's quite chaotic. Cool. Well, do we want to commit to trying to make that meeting, at least you and me, Manil, or should we maybe just?
So it's 5 in.the morning. Can we reach out?
PST?
Yeah.
Yeah, PST or PDT.
PST. Is that can we reach out to them and ask if we have a slot? If we have a slot for it, then yes. If we're just gonna show up and then they will be
They'll be doing other things. Yeah, their agendas are pretty full, and we're asking a week in advance, which is not ideal. So I'll talk to Dawson and see what we can do. Like if we can get a 15-minute chunk, which is maybe asking for a lot out of their meeting time. So let me talk to Dawson about options there.
So that was the 3rd. I'll put a placeholder on my calendar.
Yeah. Really.
Oh, good.
Another 5 a.m. wake up call. I'll be so awake, alive, alert, and enthusiastic. Cool. Action item. Another talk to Dawson about TSC meeting on the 3rd. Sweet. Awesome. User feedback. Node.js docs survey. We talked about this last time. This is issue number 61. We were kicking around the idea of, I think this can also probably be done. Hold on, I'm rereading for context. Yeah, so this is like actually blasting out a formal survey. I would love to do this actually alongside whatever type of social media blast we want to do for the rest of docs, and start publicizing that list. Like it would be great to say, hey, here, take this survey, and also any ideas you have, put them in here. We want your feedback.
Yeah.
So we should coordinate that effort and actually do a proper blast out. I need to reconnect with John Anderson, who had some ideas about getting this going. So I might ping it out there. Sagir or Eric or would either of you be interested in helping facilitate this? We basically we'll need a Google form with some general user feedback questions about current documentation, what you can see improved. And, we've done a good bit of design and content ideation work just with people who are already familiar with the project, but we really want to get more responses from the rest of the community about what they like, what they don't like, what they've seen across the internet that's good. That type of stuff. Get some actual user feedback instead of just spinning our own wheels.
Sure.
Hi, Tyranny.
Hello.
Hi, Tyranny. How long have you been waiting? I'm sorry.
About 5 seconds. It's not.
Okay, good. Yeah. We just found out that Zoom does not ping me when there's new people joining.
Yes. It's annoying.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I honestly think that there is a setting somewhere because every time I join, when you join, does it go to is that it? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll reach out to John again. Like, I'd love to do this at the same time as the other outreach for what you're working on, Neil. But we really just need somebody to make the make the survey so we can agree on the questions and blast it out. So
yeah, that sounds good.
Anybody want to volunteer to take making the survey who's on the call right now? It doesn't have to be done. It just has to be literally just created with some seed questions in there.
And I think this is something people can collaborate on too, right? If we have some new contributors on this call. They don't necessarily have to. They could use with the context of someone who's been involved in the project already.
Yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll take making the Google form at least and seed it with a couple questions.
Sounds good.
Have a lot of action items.
Once we have the list of questions, we can port it to Google Forms. Could we collaborate over a GitHub issue just to get the list of the questions? Like formulate the initial list of questions and then maybe move it to Google Forms.
Totally. There's a few that have been spat out there already as ideas. If you want to add more, totally go for it. I think I'm gonna, just for the sake of moving forward on this before the conference, I'm gonna set a deadline for, when's a good deadline? Let's say for Monday of next week for getting final questions in the issue for us. So that way we have the week to like hash it out with the foundation in case they have feedback before we ask them to actually like send it out to the world in a tweet or something. So I'll comment on the issue here. That that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds cool. Eric just mentioned in the comments that they're interested and they'll check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, please do. We need eyes on that.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. Awesome. Number 60. We're having a very documentation focused meeting. So I have been kicking the can on this for a while now. It's just we really need somebody to sit down and think about the actual documentation structure and the IA of this, the information architecture, how we want to group things, how we actually want to present it on the page, what's a reasonable way to describe all this stuff. and exactly what buckets, which articles that are in this giant list of idea go into. The user feedback section, sorry, user report page, it would be great for getting general interest and show us where to prioritize. But it doesn't tell us how to structure all of it. So I really want to take some time and figure out what that looks like, and it will probably just involve sitting in front of a whiteboard for a while and moving all these around. It's also something that might be great to do in person in just one big go. So it's a possible opportunity for the conference. Running a workshop. We do have a website redesign slot that we can do.
And for what it's worth, this collaborator summit is going to be significantly different than previous ones. There's 200 people registered for it. Like we've hit max attendance, so we might get a little bit more. The warning to them is this is for people to kind of focus, and context might not be like this is a from zero thing, but we might be able to attract some people to that because website historically has been a very good introduction point for people into the org. So
yeah. Yeah, so we'll need to figure out what that session looks like. I'd love to keep it documentation focused again. I think that worked really well for the last one. It's a great place where you can have multiple people pile in and get as much engagement as possible there. The other thing I wanted to talk about, or at least ask about, this is not in the issue itself, but I talked with a couple on the side about this. I noticed that this thing was published a while back. Pasting a link in the chat. It's called the Definitive Node.js Handbook, which is published over on Medium, and it has a lot of a lot of content here that is exactly the type of stuff that we're hoping to write. And I was hoping with the blessing of this group, I could reach out to Flavio, who wrote all this, and see if they're interested in making that content available. I mean, it's free on Medium right now. It's just like with accreditation, can we use the content? Can we start using the stuff here to seed what we currently have? It's written in a very accessible way and organized. The intro articles are organized in a very beautiful way too. So I'd love to see if we can help up level this content on the main site. How do people feel about reaching out?
No objection.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm super bullish on that.
Awesome. Yeah, the biggest problem with any initiative like this is getting that initial push of like, hey, look, here's a whole bunch of stuff, everybody pile on. It's hard to jump onto a cart with no wheels. So getting wheels on the thing is awesome. Cool. So I will reach out to Flavio this week, saying his name right, but this is now recorded and on the internet for forever. Awesome. Action item. Reach out to Flavio. Sweet. Last agenda item, unless we have more to add for issue number 60, is our stub ticket to talk about design. Joey's not on the call today, which is totally cool because he's working away on design stuff. So no major update here. We're going to be able to see mocks very soon, and I'm very excited to share, and it's going to look awesome. Go Joey. He's really cool. Design update. Done.
Something I wanted to ask. I realize I jumped in 30 minutes late, so apologies for that.
Yep. It's open floor now, by the way. Let's open conversation. Go for it.
Awesome. Did we discuss PR number 96? It looks like that can be merged.
Mm-hmm. This is the the get ignore one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally fine with this getting merged. I'll pull this in
Cool.
right now if we're okay with that.
No objection.
Sweet, and thank you, Eric, for doing that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. And squash and merge. Doing that. And
It's totally okay if you left something out. You can always update it if you want.
yeah. We can always improve. Awesome. Eric, you're officially merged in.
Yay, congrats.
Thank you very much. Woohoo. Awesome. Anything else we want to chat about?
Are we still planning on presenting some initial design stuff next week to ComCom?
That's certainly my hope.
Okay.
We're going to see where the mocks are. We really want to present something where the conversation's going to be. That's really cool. I'm excited for that. How can we make it better? And so, in order to get that type of presentation together, it takes a lot of foundational work. So we're getting that foundational work polished. Yeah, certainly my hope is next week, and I'll have a definite go no go probably by Monday or Tuesday.
Awesome, sounds good.
Yeah, sweet, cool. Any other topics? We're calling a meeting. Oh, I have one other topic. We have toyed with moving the time of this thing over and over again. I would love not to have an 8 a.m. call. Tierney, I remember last time there was a problem with just pushing it forward by 1 hour.
That was my own, and that, as far as I know, doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome, cool. So, barring any hard objections from anybody else, I'm just gonna bump this meeting up to 9 o'clock on Thursdays. Is that okay? This is kind of the core group that always joins. Sagir, Eric, is that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
that would be 9 p.m. in India. Works for me. Yeah.
Okay, it works for you. Awesome. That is good to hear. That we can get an extra hour of sleep over on the west coast of the U.S. Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool. With that, we'll call it a meeting. Thank you all so much for calling in.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.